I think we're live. This is my first time doing StreamYard, so I'm like, what just happened? Twitch chat, are y'all there? Hello? I think.
Yes, we can hear
you. Hey, folks, how's it going? This is a Marvel Rivals Streamily chat. We have some of the voice actors here with us. I do believe we're being multi-casted to different streams right now. One of them being my own Twitch. So I think there's some other ones out there. So yeah, let's do introductions. First off, I just want to say Marvel Rivals has taken the web by storm. It's pretty awesome seeing it just go off. I went to a gaming convention in January called MagFest. And there's an area where they have a bunch of like PCs for people to play, LAN, for those who might not know what that is. I saw so many people playing the game, like half the room was playing Marvel Rivals. So what you all are a part of is quite the sensation. So congratulations to you all for your success and being a part of such a big cultural thing going on. Oh, we got some more people pouring into the chat here. Okay, I see how this works now. Okay. All right.
Now that we're doing it, I'm understanding it.
Exactly. It's all coming together. Introductions. Are you all cool if I say your character's name and then you all are like, that's cute and all, here's my actual name, hello? You all cool with that? We do it that way?
Sure.
Let's start with the person with the sore throat. Squirrel Girl, hello.
Hello. My name is Milana Vayntrub, and I voice Squirrel Girl, or Doreen Green, if you know her casually.
Very good. Nice to have you. I actually feel that for a lot of folks, because you have comic book fans who are like, oh, I've known about Squirrel Girl forever, versus people who are like, never heard of her until Marvel Rivals, and this has been their first real introduction, and that they're big fans of your character. I mean, I imagine, as far as like, people are like this, okay, you weren't in Avengers, but you should have been. It's from what I've been told.
It's a grave injustice. I'm furious.
All right.
I'm open to repair being made.
Mm-hmm. I say we kick out Robert Downey Jr. from the next Avengers film and put you in there instead.
There's enough room for all of us, Saber.
Exactly. I agree.
I agree. Replace him with Josh Keaton. No problem.
Jeff the Landshark.
Yeah.
You even got it. Did you get? Is that a commission or where'd you get that?
No, my girlfriend / business partner handmade this.
That's handmade.
Handmade this puppet for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a puppet too, but I'm not gonna puppeteer it for you guys. So you can get his collar on everything. My name is John Bailey. I'm the voice of Jeff.
Yeah.
But I also representing a lot of Transformers fans too, because I do a lot of that stuff and other things, but. Mainly
who do you voice in Transformers?
My name is Optimus Prime and Megatron and Soundwave
and about 100 others. So
it's
got quite the resume and Transformers-dom.
That's awesome. I was told for Jeff the Shark that he's like one of the most hated characters in the game, as far as like he's beloved. But to face him in combat is where
you just described the thing. You love him when he's on your team, but you hate him when he's not. I think that makes sense.
Chad, is that true? Is Jeff the character to avoid as far as on the battlefield as an opponent? We'll see what they say. That's awesome. Thank you for joining us. Moonknight.
I am the Fist of Khonshu. What's up? I'm Erik Braa. I am available and handles like Erik Braa or Erock VO. I don't know. I put it there in that little thingy. And I do voices and stuff. And the moon haunts you.
Very good. I watched. Let me ask you this: have you seen the Moonknight show? As far as what'd you think of that? Did you like it?
Yeah, it was all right. It was all right. I didn't like. I prefer going with Mark more than Steven, but yeah.
Okay, very good.
Yeah,
cool. All right, there was a bit of a debate before the stream on how the name was said, but I was told by Rob it's Namor, not Namor. Introduce yourself, because there's a bit of a debate going on.
Hi, I'm Daniel Marin, and I voice Namor. However, if it's kind of like my name is Daniel, but if you say it in Spanish, it's Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same with Namor. If you are speaking in English, you say Namor. If you're speaking in Spanish or want to say it like he would say, it's Namor.
Okay.
Italian, it's Namore.
Namor. Yeah, I don't think there's an incorrect way to say it.
Like Wario.
Keeps saying it, which means he is still loved.
I like that. Okay, that explains things. Very good. Psylocke.
Hello, my name is Alpha Takahashi, and I voice Psylocke. Her British name is Betsy, for those of you who know her comics better. And I guess Psylocke doesn't really sound this way, but this is my real voice. And my odachi is sharp, but Saber's tongue is sharper.
Okay, very good.
Nice.
Awesome. All right, Hela.
Hela. Hey, what's up, people? Ooh, golly.
Hello.
Thor is calling.
Professional of me.
Oh, is that you, Hela?
Yeah, that's so terrible.
What a pleasure to get to talk to you.
Just you guys can tell I'm like circa 1970. I'm the only one who doesn't have an ad. I didn't even know I needed Google Chrome. It took me like 45 minutes to figure out how to make this one.
That's
Never
okay.
mind. You can tell it's like I'm in prison here in an all white room. But anyway, I'm Nika Futterman. I play Hela. I love her. I've played her in a few things, but this seems to be like where people have noticed her the most, even in shows that I've done playing Hela or whatever. This seems to be getting the most hype, which is super duper exciting. I should be able to, so you can reach me, put whatever everybody else did next time. So I have to figure out how to do that. I'm
Your phone number.
slow.
Your address.
Social
address.
Security.
Your mother's maiden name.
Phone number.
Yeah, you can tell I'm never online. I hide under a rock. I come out occasionally when I get invited, and I'm like so happy to be here. So if I'm slower and the least knowledgeable of everybody, just ask me anything you want, and I'll try to answer. But
You're being so humble right now.
just, and
Well,
hey.
before we officially start, again, chat for all the folks who are watching from different streams. See that little scroller down below where it goes across the screen? Click on that, hit it up. That's where you can do signings for these wonderful voice actors from Marvel Rivals. Get custom art with their signing. Hit it up. For this stream, we're doing a Q&A. We're going
Looks
to
like the NASDAQ dropped 2 points down there.
I know. What happened? I don't need to know. But we're going for about another 50 minutes, I believe. So let's just get into it. Y'all cool if I throw some questions? Y'all, I'll ask some questions. And I'll look through the chat for some questions as well, and we'll screen those. Y'all cool with that arrangement?
Sure.
Okay, very good. I have to ask then. What was y'all's first impression, reaction to the success of Marvel Rivals and how it just blew up as one of the most favorite popular games of 2024 and now going into 2025? Duh. Yeah, of course.
I can answer a little bit because I went to the Comic-Con where they announced our cast. It was really interesting because we didn't know anybody in the cast. We weren't allowed to even mention that we were in it. So when they announced us and I saw a bunch of friendly faces, I was like, wait a minute, I know some of these people. That's really cool. But I'm also a big gamer and a big fan of comics. And so I literally walked up to Fred Pescatore, who does the Hulk. And I was like, Fred, can you sign my little pamphlet? And he goes, yeah, Namor, I'll sign it for you. And he literally signed it as Namor. And I felt like such a goofball. It was so funny. And, I met John Bailey there. And it was just walking around. They had a little booth that I started seeing people line up, and word of mouth got out. And I just thought, this is going to be amazing. And then I played the beta, and the beta was so much fun that it was like a thing where we thought, man, this is bigger than any of us expected. I think even the developing team, we're hoping for something huge, but not as successful as it was. And once the game launched, I mean, my entire social media is based around this game. It's fascinating how amazing and huge it is. Like I said, I'm such a fan, so I'm super blown away to be in this cast with these amazing actors in here and everybody else in this cast. It's unbelievable. So the success of the game, I hope it keeps going. I love playing it, and if I wasn't in it, I'd still play it every day. So I think it's really awesome.
Okay. Anybody else want to weigh in?
Well, when they announced you guys at that panel, because they told me they were announcing all of the cast, but they didn't announce me at the panel.
You were a surprise, though.
Yeah, that's actually how we first met. It's Fred Tatasciore, by the way, but I think he would love the way you pronounce his name. So Fred has been in Marvel quite a bit, so I knew a few of the people that were going to be there, but a lot of them were surprise and first time people that I'd met, like Daniel. But they had told me, like, we're doing the announcement at this panel. So I had just finished working on, finally able to talk about doing ADR on Deadpool and Wolverine. So I had a full-on like $5,000 Deadpool suit that the company had given me for free that I couldn't wait to show off because I lost weight to get into it. And they showing out the cast members and nothing. I'm like, I'm still not allowed to talk about it. My girlfriend had made a Jeff the Shark puppet overnight by hand, which is extremely difficult. I'm like,
That's wild.
They're like, no, we're gonna do it at the booth in the showroom floor. And they had told me during the sessions earlier on, they're like, this game is gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge, everyone. A lot of people are saying this. And I was like, okay, because I've heard that before. I've heard that in 20 years. I've heard that a lot. And I'm like, okay, sure, but I found out more about the character, which made me like him a little bit more. And I got it through an audition, which is, a lot of the stuff that I get, it's just because I worked for the company a lot and they're just throw me a thing and I might end up being the final character kind of stuff. So it was cool to actually get one directly from the audition. But when I went to the panel, they announced, they had me come up and do the voice, and there were so few people there, people didn't really realize, and they had no idea how difficult the session was because I had to sing the theme song as Jeff, which we thought like, oh, he's just going to kind of try to, like, no, we want him to actually sing it on key, the notes and everything. I was like, oh, yay. And then I got the beta, and friends that I knew that were playing, they're like, dude, this game is, and I started seeing, like, yeah, this is going to be a really big deal. And then the first week, 20 million players. Within a month, 40 million players. Insane. It's freaking nuts. And now I've been doing 100 Transformers, and a little shark shows up, and now everybody knows who I am.
If I actually may ask a question for all y'all, as far as auditioning goes, how does that work with, like, here's the character, here's what they're about, bullet points maybe? Can you all explain that process? Because it sounds like for some of you all, you've connected with this character. I've been told for voice actors, sometimes it's just a role, and that's totally fine as well. But what was the process of finding your voice and getting the role?
I can say for me that this is really fascinating, just because what I had said when I first was speaking about, I played Hela before, and I'd never, like, it was like crickets. And then all of a sudden this game is like massive, and, everybody cares about Hela now, and, they're like, that game's amazing and everything. And I find it really, really interesting. But so for me with Hela, I had played her before. Lots of other women have played her before too, but I've played her in a bunch of projects. And so they're like, hey, want to play Hela? That was the experience for me. And I was like, okay. So that was my experience with this particular game. So unlike most things as voice actors that we have to do, we have to audition. But if you're as old as me, and some of us are in the old crew, you've been around forever, and every once in a while you have a character that just comes back around, like, many times, then they let you keep playing it. So this is one of those fortunate experiences.
But where'd you find your original Hela voice, though? When the first audition?
Wow, that was so long ago. I think I first played in Earth's
Mightiest Avengers, right?
The show, the TV show. I always like to just say it comes from the universe. I have no idea, right? Does it, like,
she's a cosmic character. It makes sense.
I never go and I never listen to what other people have done. I mean, except for some characters that I've played, where you can't help it, like Catwoman, or but for the most part, I'm not like some of you guys. I have no clue what's going on. I'm not a gamer. I wasn't even allowed to watch television when I was growing up. I had these things called books.
What?
I think you missed
paper and everything.
The iPad.
I had this, yeah, you right. So it's a really, really awesome thing when I hear, because most voiceover people are, geeksters themselves who love games, who love cartoons, and it's so amazing because most people that I work with are a wealth of knowledge, and I'm just like,
yeah. These sound awesome. And I think, Nika, I have the exact opposite like process from you
Yeah.
because I came on the game a little bit later, and when I started, looking for a voice for her, I saw that there's at least 12 people that have voiced Psylocke before, and including some very, very prominent voice actors. And I'm like, and I listened to every single one of them, and I'm like, what am I gonna do to like stand up to that that bar? Luckily, I think like this version, the Marvel Rivals version of Psylocke, aka Psy, they've taken on a different take from what's traditional with her. They went with a Demon Days, like a very specific aspect of her, which made it a little bit easier for me to find myself in. I was like, oh, okay, she has an identity crisis. Oh, okay. So like, yeah, I really enjoyed doing that. But I appreciate Nika for like not looking and like just finding your own self. I'm like, okay, no, not there yet. No.
Very good.
Just give it 20 years. It's all gonna.
John, how'd you find I'm sorry, I was going to ask John real fast. How'd you find a voice for a shark of all things? How did you do that?
I don't want to give away the farm. I mean, kind of like Nika, I'm almost at 20 years professionally at this career. Even I thought I started late.
I'm like 35, but I was just saying 20 years from now.
Yeah, I've actually been in this business for a while, to that where I was at the point where I've been getting a lot, and I have been working for Marvel for other things along the way. Some cool stuff that I'm allowed to talk about, and some cool things I'm not allowed to talk about for whatever reason. But I think that guy's Lego with it, and things like that'll just pop up randomly. I never even know where any of this stuff goes because sometimes it's just test runs and things that they're just trying out and playing around with. But I've got a lot of repeat clients at this point, so to get an audition for Marvel is always cool. But it's always like, well, I already. They could have just asked whatever. But I always give those a little bit more love because they are already kind of one of my favorite brands, and maybe that's why my auditions are a little bit better for some companies than others. Because when you get for some a fan that may or may not cause instant diarrhea, you're just like, yeah, okay, fine, I'll just do this stupid script, But in other things like, oh crap, Marvel, I know this. Oh, this is in the Deadpool universe. I love Deadpool. So that kind of thing, it helps. But I knew of the character. I just didn't know his full background. And instead of just reading the audition, I just went back and did my research, and I found out how tragic his sad little story is. But the description for the audition kind of referenced him as being very Gremlin-like from the Warner Brothers movies. But I thought that sounded too harsh and mean, and I was like, but they keep talking about how cute he was. I was like, well, how can I make a cute gremlin? So I just kind of merged both sides of Gizmo, Mogwai, and Gremlin together.
One boy, so it's half gremlin and half nice.
That kind of thing. So just kind of it's a merging of the dudes. But it wasn't the only cute voice I did. I did some, but a lot of the main one was just this little baby voice that I do just to make my girlfriend laugh. So shout out to Foxy Ditch. Let's go around talking like this all the time. You think that's funny? I was like, I'm going to book that some way or somehow. So I just kind of added that little gremlin sound to that baby voice.
It obviously worked.
I mean, he got me the job, so yeah.
It's funny how many times like a voice that you do for fun at home can turn into a character that you do for pay. Like
the most famous ones, yeah.
Yeah, my original demo was like little skits. And I had one that was Johnny Dammit, and I know every corner of this foggy metropolis. And it was just this noir, stupid detective thing that I was doing. And then the first time I used it was Draven for League of Legends, where I just added a pro wrestler. And then this time it was, well, just add Batman, try to be Kevin Conroy, and not obviously ever achieve that, but yeah, try to add some of that and make him more. I am the Fist of Khonshu.
That's so cool.
You nailed it, though.
I've never done that before in an audition. I don't know what you're talking about.
Daniel, what about you?
Okay, so this is literally my second project like this. I'm so new to this world, and I'm like fascinated by everything you guys have said. I was very lucky that Namor didn't have an animated version really that people could compare me to. If I had been like, if I booked Spider-Man, people would be like, that's not the Spider-Man I know and love. So I was able to like really sort of create from the ground up. which was really nice for me. I remember the audition. I don't know if it was like this for everybody, but mine didn't say anything about who I was. It just sort of was like a description of this guy who was the Prince of Atlantis, who lived in the ocean, who was a superhero. And I thought, well, I can sort of, figure out who this guy is. But I figured if he's in the bottom of the ocean and he commands an entire, universe down there, his voice has to be deep registered. His chest has to be a big cavity of air. So I put the voice down here. And, it's like the tide, Namor always rises again. He's speaking from down here because he has to be able to command. And he had one line in the audition that said it was typical air breathers. He's like typical air breather. And it made me just think like that's his point of view of humans. He is, he is above them. He is stronger than all of them. Humans are mere insects. And so that helped me sort of create his POV. That with the voice, I think that was just like I sent it in. I didn't hear back for about 7 or 8 months before.
Months?
Oh yeah. And in fact, like when they told me like, hey, they want you for the Marvel game, I was like, what Marvel game? What are you talking about? I didn't know who it was. It was such a like a mind meld. And so that was kind of my experience with it. And then in the booth with the creative team, they were very open to any suggestions. At this point, when I actually got into the booth, I had read dozens of comics with Namor and kind of figured out who he was, how he's like in love with all women. So, I have lines with other characters and he's super flirty, but I understood that having read the comics at that point. But yeah, the original thing was just like, he's a guy who's in the ocean commanding armies of, fish. And so, and then I started reading it. I'm like, oh, he's actually really cool and like really misunderstood. And humans destroy his world all the time. They kill his wives. They kill his, his people. So he becomes sort of a villain out of necessity in terms of like, he wasn't a bad person. He's mad at humanity because they destroy his world. So that's sort of where I came up with the character. And I'm like, again, I'm just so lucky to be in this with these people because this is all new to me. And people are like, oh, I've been doing this voice for, 20 years. I'm like, I hope that's me 20 years from now being like, yeah, I started in a game called Marvel Rivals.
You might have heard of it. It's called Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
It honestly was like the game at MagFest. So you all are doing something right, along with the rest of the team. Squirrel Girl, how'd you find your voice?
Well, I've been doing Squirrel Girl for 20 years. No, I started doing Squirrel Girl for a live action project that didn't end up having a life, but there were a lot of animation projects that came up after that. So I have been her for a while. I'm sorry, my dog is attacking the door.
What's the dog's name? I'm sorry. Stop your question right now.
His name is Hank. He's very protective. He's very busy. He's very important. He's got a lot of meetings. I'm actually just using his computer right now.
You're the intern for Hank, obviously.
Yes,
right?
I'm actually getting a call from him right now.
Chat, can we get some thank you Hanks in the chat? Thank you, Hank. Oh, sorry, as you were.
But yeah, I feel like Squirrel Girl is not too far off from me. Sometimes when I'm asked to do her voice, I'm like, it's just here. But then it also makes you realize that we have a lot of voices. Did I freeze while
you're good.
Talking? No. Anyway, so I think that Squirrel Girl is just like a hop, skip, and a jump for me. And like Daniel, I really love my character and I get her. And I've read most of the more modern comics of her that were written by Ryan North. And so I feel like she's this really fully fledged girl. Like I genuinely wish I were more like her. I wish I could hang out with her. So anytime I get to go into the booth and be her, I feel like stronger, happier, more optimistic, and like more purpose driven. Because she is all of those things.
I feel more homicidal, though.
Well, I was told that because you got, of course, like Disney with Avengers and their Marvel franchise, and that's how a lot of folks got acquainted with, Thor. Now I know Thor because of, the movies and the cinematic films. But I have a colleague of mine who's a big comic book fan. His name is Cosmonaut Marcus, great YouTube channel. And he said when Rivals first arrived that he went to the comic book store and that the books were like completely cleaned out for your characters. Because the folks were like, wait, Squirrel Girl, Moon Knight, you know, Jeff the Shark. I want to know more about these characters. So it's really neat to see a resurgence of popularity and for demand for characters who aren't on the cinematic levels. But Marvel Rivals has really blown up where they're like, I got to know more about this character who I main. I got to know more about.
It's like these Marvel people know what they're doing.
Yeah. I think they got it down to a science.
Can I interject with that? I would love if somehow in the MCU movies they opened up the multiverse timeline where the characters are played by the voices of Marvel Rivals and we all become, you know, those characters in the MCU movies. I think it's so rad. So Marvel, if you're listening.
Yeah. And I'm thinking some pretty good royalty kickbacks as well. In order. I believe so. Are you all cool if I take some questions from the audience?
Absolutely.
There's one that I saw, and I discovered that you can click on the comment, and it actually prompts to the screen here. This is from Marisa Garcia saying, "Hello, guys. I would like to ask everyone a question, please. I would like to know what it was like to bring originality to such beloved and special characters in pop culture as you did. I love you all."
Golly, thank you.
Can I say something real quick? Jordan Reynolds is in the chat. He voices Adam Warlock.
Yeah, I just saw him too.
Bring him in here.
Jordan, you want to hop in?
Can we, Streamerly folks, can we make that happen? Is that possible? Or is that a future stream, perhaps? Possibly a future stream, maybe. We'll see what they say.
He's hanging through the celeb works, buddies. He didn't have time for this.
What's that? Streamerly signings and cameo for these voice actors. If you love and cherish them, want to support them, I believe so. Yeah. Hit up their socials and follow them, I believe. Sorry. So as far as the question from Marisa Garcia goes, again, how did you bring the? I think we kind of asked this question already, but as far as you all finding a certain je ne sais quoi to provide to the performance, was there anything as far as like lending your own personality or
I don't
thoughts?
speak Spanish, Baxter. I like I said, I did get a little brief description of the character, but it wasn't like, you know, very dry. It was just a little paragraph. So I knew of him, but you know, I always try to do the characters justice, but I literally just try to make him as freaking cute as possible because it's Marvel, and Marvel is such a huge brand, and he's such a freaking cute character, and Deadpool is like my favorite of the Marvel universes. So yeah, I just kind of gave it my best shot. I try to have fun with my auditions and like make them enjoyable, and at the very least, if I don't get the job, I entertain the people who listened, and they had to listen to hundreds probably. So yeah, it was freaking great. But yeah, I kind of always assume everything could be the biggest thing, you know, ever. Who knows? So I try to get it 110% every time because you never know. And there you go, pays off.
There is a question here that I'm trying to find. Okay, here we go. The chat was asking which of you actually play the game. I know that early on that was already said, but just to echo it, which of our wonderful cast have like, yeah, I play the game. Have you played your character? And if not, who's your main? That seems to be the question in the chat right now.
I'll tell you this. I have 130 hours on Namor in the game.
Wait, on a single character?
Yep. Yeah, I have about 40 minutes on the next character. I exclusively play as Namor. And I also stream. So I will literally play as myself all night, every night. And I've tried other characters.
Your stuff, you say.
Absolutely awful. What was that, Eric?
Said you play with yourself, you say. Okay.
Yeah. Every night.
I only have 15 minutes of Jeff the Shark, and I only played for the Jeff event. That was all I had time for. But yes, I have played.
I have not played yet. My system told me the app told me that my system was too weak. But I have a friend who streams, and I watched her play for a while, and she mained Moonknight for a while, just so I could sit back and enjoy it.
When the game came out, I bought a PlayStation 5. Yes, I tried.
Did you play Psylocke?
Yes, I played. Yes, I'm bad. And since then, I have turned into a backseat gamer.
I'm sorry. It's funny to think about you playing and you're bad, and someone's like, "Get good, scrub. You suck on Psylocke." And
Yeah.
I literally voiced the character.
Yeah,
How
they say
dare
that
you?
about Jeff. You should be the best Jeff player ever. I'm like, when do I have time to play?
Yeah, your impression of Jeff is pretty good, but not that great.
Yeah, I've
You
heard that
keep
one before,
trying.
too.
Yeah, right?
Exactly.
Here we go.
When I do Namor, I sound more like Antonio Banderas.
Good inspiration, right? Actually, let me ask you all a quick question. As far as becoming voice actors, is there a voice actor or an actor at all who just inspired you? Where you're like, that's who got me into this game. That's who inspired me to pursue becoming a professional voice actor.
Milana, for me.
I actually was gonna say that I love what Ryan Reynolds has done with Deadpool. In that, I mean, he did kind of like, bring that character
Thank
to
you.
life.
What have you heard?
Wow, you're here, Ryan. But I do think that there's like the sense of like intense purpose and comedy is similar to what Squirrel Girl has going on, which is why I think she would be an excellent addition to a Deadpool film. But I do think that there's a a symmetry in the way that they care about what they're doing, but then also have a levity.
Very good. By the way, I'm going to pause the question, a quick little, timeout. Andrew, welcome to the stream.
What's good? What's good? Thank you
How
so
are
much
you?
for having me. I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
Doing well. We're just carrying on, enjoying is this Saturday? Saturday. We're enjoying our Saturday. Andrew here is the voice of Hawkeye. Good to have you.
I'm the voice of Hawkeye and the voice of the Master Weaver.
Ooh.
So yeah, which was a lot of fun. Yeah. Very grateful to be playing Hawkeye, the very diesel Hawkeye, the very, very diesel version of Hawkeye.
Well, let me ask you, I'm going to throw you a quick question. We asked the cast before, how did the audition go for becoming Hawkeye?
I mean, I'm always grateful for everything that I get sent. So I was sent the audition for Hawkeye and, I knew right away, obviously, who it was. So tried to put my spin on it and yeah, was selected. It was, but every time it's like I try to treat everything and handle every audition with a sense of care and love and respect, because obviously there's writers and there's creators and animators behind that who have put a lot of time and effort and love into it. So by the time it reaches me, I feel that I have to imbue that every single one of those pieces of copy that I get with that same level of importance and significance. So yeah, it did it. Hopefully I was able to tune into the right amount of smart ass that Hawkeye brings. And that was that. And we had a ton of fun in the booth doing it too with Michael. That was a lot of fun.
Excellent. And by the way, chat, if you want to get a signing from Andrew, the link down below, it's going through again. Like I believe it's Daniel said, it's like the Dow Jones stock market tickers going across.
That was me, but you're welcome.
Oh, John, I'm sorry. I'm stealing jokes here.
I'll take it.
I'll ask Marvel Rivals people that like
I'm pretty sure Daniel said it. No, very good. Exceptional. Okay. Are you all cool if I toss some more questions? Y'all's waiting in the chats?
I have a question, actually. Has anybody else done any other work for Marvel besides Rivals?
I did one time. I did a Throg for some Disney. I think it was like a cruise line or something. I don't know. They had some sort of thing, and I had to do, of course, your Hemsworth. I'm looking for my brother.
Yes, I also did
Spiky
Throg as
teeth,
well.
Pointy. Yes, there we are.
I think Nika and I on Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay,
Gamora,
cool.
right? Gamora, Captain Brazil, Hawkgirl, Catwoman.
Yeah.
I've done, it's been a while. I probably am forgetting a bunch. I have to look it up. But those are ones that come to mind. Done Gamora, Hawkgirl, shows and.
I did Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite as a few characters, the voice of Marvel Snap's announcer and the collector in the Marvel Snap game. and a bunch of random stuff like Throg and other weird thing. Lots of Deadpool. Boy, do they need me to do that. So much stuff. And Hawkeye, the live action show, that was pretty cool too. And What If? I got to be in What If. And I know he's not here, but I love Josh Keaton. That guy's got a freaking great Marvel resume, man. So shout out to Josh. I know he's busy.
Yeah, he's got some things going on. All right. I have a question from the chat. You cool if I put it on the screen?
Yes, please.
It's from Gojira 4701 saying, "Hey Andrew, what are your feelings on the fact that Hawkeye is one of the most broken and overpowered characters in the game?" And other folks can weigh in on this if they like.
I hate running into him. I hate running into all of you. You guys are monsters.
I just want to know why I just jumped in here and I'm catching all the smoke. Like, what?
That was fast. That escalated quickly.
I just showed up and people were like, all right, that's it.
That really got out of hand fast.
I have heard that a lot. And what I've surmised from the little that I've played, because I'm kind of like Nika, I don't play as much as I could or should. But what I've surmised is that he aims much like a real human being aims, which means you have zero margin for error. You don't get the grace of like, oh, it's a video game, so close enough for horseshoes and hand grenades. So if I light you up, I light you up. That reticle has to be absolutely precise and account for all of the motion. So Hawkeye is both quite rewarding and very frustrating. That's my take on it.
Very good. By the way, Nika, I just want to say, you've had like 7 or so people in the chat saying they love your performance. I just want to pass it off to you.
Thank you so much.
Not even questions, just I'm saying, tell her that we love their performance.
Thank you so much. I so appreciate that.
I'm saying their name incorrectly. I wasn't ready the question here. It's from Gretchavor saying, "How do you get into voice acting audition with a game a part of such a massive company and brand?" So I guess as far as maybe the intimidation of like, ooh, Disney, it's Marvel. Oh, do you still just lock in, say performance is performance? What do you all think?
That's something I can answer since it's not like, specific. I think I'm like Andrew, and I think probably like every one of us here who is, every audition we get, it's, we're in gratitude and it wouldn't matter who created it. It's an artist that created that character. And so you want to give it as much attention as you give anything else. We talked before about, recreating something that's already been done before another character. And everyone has their different process, but I wouldn't say I ever tip the scales any one way or the other, based on whether it's from, Marvel or Disney or some huge brand. If I did, I would say, like, when I look back into the entirety of what I've done in voiceover, I can think of the favorite thing that I've ever done. No one ever saw it. I was so happy that I got the part. I didn't make any money off of it. But I loved it. And it's the only thing I can listen to over and over again and go, wow, I'm so proud of that. And no one ever saw it. So like Andrew, I think that if you want to get into this world of voiceover, you have to go into it with gratitude and love and appreciation for every role that is, put in front of your face.
Well said.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of it just has to do with time and representation and experience. And, if you've worked for these companies before, it's not something you just waltz into a studio and, start booking like it was in the 70s and 60s. So now you actually have to have established a little bit of a career, and you have to have all the right tech equipment, hardware stuff. They also take a look at some of your social media. There's a lot of freaking factors involved now for games that are in 2025. But, getting auditions for big studios like Marvel, it really does take really good representation, which comes with a lot of work, a lot of coaching, establishing yourself, establishing your brand, learning from the best people you can learn, booking stuff, actually starting to get auditions because they want to know, like, what have you done already? How much? My first question that one of my main agency asked me when I came in to be interviewed was, how much do you make in voiceover a year by itself? And it had to be in the 6 figures plus range before taxes for them to even consider you. That's kind of how the standard is really freaking high. Wow. And they're the companies that get those big auditions. So it's wow. But now as things change and shift, now we have companies that are really big that are taking their toy boxes down to smaller companies and making mobile games and making smaller things that, you know, that they can't use union talent for, like toy voices, stuff like that. So it's gotten bigger and it's a little bit easier, but it still takes a lot of effort and time to find where those go. So there's a lot of ways to get those auditions.
Okay.
I will say there's also, to not be discouraging, you can get lucky like I did and happen to fit the exact thing that they were looking for, and maybe even give them something that they didn't know they were looking for. So, you know, where there are people who have made a career and therefore got this opportunity, I think it's also, you know, don't shy away from who you are, because who you are specifically might be what they needed. In my opinion, if they're holding auditions, they don't know exactly what they're looking for, or else they wouldn't be doing auditions. They would just cast. So, you know, if you are looking to get into this world, my suggestion is do it. Start, because you will really fail 100% if you don't try.
I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, too. Sorry.
No, please.
No, you know, I think it's the basis that basic understanding is that, okay, you did have your training, but what else? Like, what is going to happen on top of that? And, you know, just like Daniel said, like sometimes things fall into place. And like I've had purple hair for about 3-4 years now. And I kind of feel like that just like happened. And when I saw the visuals for Psylocke, I was like, oh, that's me.
That's you.
And like just having that sort of like moment, you know, it creates a connection with what you're playing and like what you're voicing. And it sometimes it does magically happen. Not always, but I will say like this was a very fortunate instance. Thank you.
The universe is like, gotcha.
There's a similar thing that happened to me when I first read Squirrel Girl, not even just the audition sides, but read the script, where I was like, that's me. Where I feel like she talks like I talk, she cares about the things I care about. And now I think maybe I have to color my hair to match hers.
And grow a tail.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I already have that. I'm sitting on it.
I saw your photos with the tail. It's super cute.
Thanks.
You ever see squirrels and you're like, I get it now.
So I'm one of you.
I'm one of you.
And then I chase them and then they run. And anyway, I have to go get a shot in a little bit.
It's all good. Anyone else?
I mean, if I could add something to that,
please.
I would say that one of the most critical things is to understand that there are no useless skills. My career prior to this was I was a recording artist. I had albums out and toured all over the place, and I was touring with, I don't know if people listen to hip hop, but I was touring with people like, you know, a lot of the Digging in the Crates guys in New York for, you know, Brand Nubian, Main Source, like Showbiz and AG, like all these, like that was my thing. And when I made the transition to voiceover after I had made a bunch of albums and done all that, so I, you know, had record deals, lost, and the whole thing, it was carrying that experience through and translating that into the field of acting. So things that came up, like, for example, when you were saying about how when we get copy, I got the copy when I first got the role of Saw Gerrera in the Clone Wars. That was actually listed just as CW. And they said, improv some lines about being a football coach. And I'm, you know, big New York Giants fan. And so I was like, I'm going to do this. So I was like applying all of these things that I pulled from and kind of leaned unapologetically into who I am. And that gave it, you know, them what they wanted. And that was what sort of brought me into the fold. So I would say exactly to Daniel's point that he made earlier is everything that makes you completely unique is the thing that you need to bring. It's not something that you should forget or kind of work out of you or what have you. I mean, I've been watching Nika. I've had the privilege of being in the booth with Nika for years on multiple projects. And it's this fascinating experience of watching her pull characters out that you realize you're getting to see parts of who she is. Yep. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. So that's all I would say.
Thank you.
I've been told for a lot of voice actors. I've had the honor of knowing lots of voice actors, and I've been told that a lot of it is like it is being relentless, staying with it, doing lots of auditions. But how often I see them find the character, but also find their own bit of sincerity and soul, and combining it, and boom, that's the character. And again, a lot of our appreciation. There's folks in the chat right now who are just, again, it's not even questions, just people saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. They're just all over the chat, which, by the way, if you want to really express your love, see that little ticker down below? That's how you can really show your love for all these wonderful voice actors, is getting a print, have them sign it, and send it to you directly. Just saying. And by the way, wait, what's that? If there are socials and cameos for you all to advertise, can you all bring them up right now, possibly? I'm just saying, for all these folks in the chat who are just expressing all their love for these voice actors, where can they find you all directly?
Oh,
I think are the names. Their names are gone, but
let me hide the current comment. Boom, there they are.
Boom.
Oh, how do you add mine?
I didn't do it either, Andrew. In the beginning, us old folks. Go to your little picture with the 3 little dotty dots, and you can edit your name, and then you can put it right next to your name. I figured that out.
It's right next to the left phalange.
Figure this out.
Can I just say, can I continue? You know, in the inspirational, you know, Andrew, who also hello.
In a world of inspiration.
In a room of inspiration of all these things. You know, it's such a different time now because it's both harder and in this weird way easier than when we were coming up. Because when we were coming up, they wanted to put everybody in a box. You could only do one thing and that was it, you know?
Really?
Like, you know, a long time ago, you know, you were this, especially if you were an actor, a non-camera actor, it was like, you got to be one thing. And if you were weird, it wasn't really as appreciated. And now it's like, you know, the stranger and more interesting you are, I think the better off you are, because like Andrew said, that's what's going to set you apart. We also didn't have this stuff, you know, access where you can, if they're saying no to you all the time, put your stuff out there. We didn't have that when I was younger. Put yourself, because someone's going to find you now. Like, look at all these people who are crushing it. Musicians, actors, whatever, because they just put themselves online and created something themselves. We didn't have that back then. So we have, yes, like you know, I have opportunities now that maybe some younger people don't have because I've been doing it for so long. And now I know a lot of people, like you were saying, John, you know, you're in it for a long time. So people then now say, hey, I know you can do this. So they give it to you. Mm-hmm. But now what it is like, since you guys have access to creating and then putting it out there, that's what you need to do. And someone will find you and they will find your interesting version of whatever they're trying to create. But anyways,
all the bookings take place outside the box, just so you know. I hate living in the box. This is the only box you should need. do all your auditions outside of it and you'll book stuff.
Wait, so things are a bit more, I guess, not as shackled towards typecasting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I never heard that before as far as voice acting goes.
Totally.
It's because there's also a new generation of directors, instead of just the people that are just get me the same. The people that get the same, they're looking for people to make fun of the same.
I mean, now the bummer is you have to have like 1 billion followers, and you know, if you're like someone like me who couldn't care less.
But they're finding out very quickly that just because they have millions of followers doesn't mean they're good at doing the job.
No, that's
I've been in those studios.
Correct. It's going to course correct, and all of your artistry and amazingness and talent you can just put out there, and they're going to find you. Just keep doing it.
And a lot of us are making our own stuff. Like we're just, you know, technology's catching up to our brains. But yeah, are we going down the list of shouting out where we're doing?
Please, I want to know where I can follow you on social media.
Well, I feel like we should start with you since you're next to me. Oh, bearded one.
Eric, me?
Please.
You're over there.
I
was here in the center for me.
I'm pretty much Erik Braa, but there's also Erik VO for Insta, things like that. That's where you can follow me. Mostly it's pictures of beer because I like beer.
What kind of beer, good sir?
Mostly hazy double IPAs, or in this case, a triple IPA. But yeah, I enjoy a lot of beer. I don't know. I'm pretty
Can I
boring.
just say, Eric, that your beard is magnificent.
Yep. Why, thank you, sir.
If I was back in time in a Viking battle, and I saw you by my side, I'm like, we're gonna win this one. We're gonna win this one.
You look like
Give me the strength.
You look like you've trained many dragons. I just say that right there.
Just a few.
Epic voice guy. I do tons of stuff. Also, shout out to Voxy Ditch. She's HD Ditch in the chat over here. She's also a voice actor. She's new to it, but she's booked some cool games, and we're creating our own cool stuff. But yeah, Epic voice guy on pretty much every platform that there is.
Very good. Any cameo though?
Yeah, freaking cameo. All the things.
My name is Jeff.
You're telling me I can do like a birthday wish from like I want.
I've had everything from sing Christmas songs to do freaking Shania Twain. Like I get the weirdest freaking things for like, and I'm like, not for $50. Some of your requests are like, nope.
I want that for my birthday. Happy birthday.
And you can get it for only $75 on cameo.com/epicvoiceguy. And
who else wants to advertise? This is the shameless moment where we just promote the hell out of ourselves.
I'm Danger Marin on everything, or Danger Marin, like Namor, Namor, whatever you want to
Your
call it.
last name was Marina. It would have been crazy cool.
It was in the stars.
And I will say this: I also am on Cameo, all these things, but on Twitch I stream under the same name. And something that I'm trying really hard in my community is to have zero toxicity allowed.
Good.
So if you're coming in, we're gonna have good games, good vibes, fun. There's no yelling at each other. I've seen a lot of posts from a lot of people being like, this game is getting toxic. Every game I get into, I get screamed at. In my chat, we play with chat, and we do not have that. We don't allow it. So if you want to have a good time with no toxicity, come on my Twitch and we'll play together.
See that handle right there under your screen, that applies for Twitch if I wanted to hang out with you.
Yep. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Very good. Thank you. Who's next?
Those
I want
same
self-promotion. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Those same rules apply, but in my house, we allow no toxicity, no screaming, no.
Are those your rules
yelling.
or Hank's rules?
Are we invited to your house, Milana?
Everyone's coming over after this. Did you not get an invitation, Daniel? I'm so sorry.
I'll double check, maybe.
Oh, I'll have to fire somebody. Anyway, yes, I'm Mint Milana, like Mint Milano cookies, but Mint Milana. I am that on all platforms, and maybe I'll hop on a stream with Daniel at some point.
Yes.
Maybe a round 2 of Streamily signings if the demand is there, which, by the way, from what I can see in the chat, the demand is there. So just saying.
Oh, the demand is there.
Oh, it's there. Andrew, where can I find you?
I am friggin' terrible at social media, so IG is pretty much the spot to get me at. It's Big Doc Kish. I used to be regular size Kish, but I'm a little older, and it's about 40,000 cheeseburgers later, so now I'm Big Doc Kish.
40,000, that's it?
Pretty much.
Where are you getting these burgers from, by the way?
Man, look, I'm equal opportunity. Like, I will slide through In and Out as much as I'll slide through something like Easy Street or For the Win, or, you know.
You must have a lot of time to go through In and Out's lines, man.
I am a gentleman of culture, so I feel I should sample all things. Yeah, and basically, shoot, when I'm not baking or trying to get some Texas barbecue or digging for vinyl records, I am doing voiceover, and that's what I do.
Texas barbecue. Would you say that is the best barbecue in the world?
At the risk of sparking off some stuff, yes.
I'm from Memphis, and we invented it. So you're
all the Carolina.
Oh, there we go. There we go. The Carolina folks.
I'll tell you this much. Though. I kind of want to invite Erik to barbecue just to see him eat barbecue with that beard.
Yes.
I wear gloves.
Yes, and the bath that comes after.
Beard BQ.
Yeah.
I want to drink a beer with Erik. I'm just going to put that out.
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking the same thing.
On Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific, I do the Rawcast happy hour. And anybody here wants to come by and hang out with me, well, I'll have to have you on the stream.
100%.
I only have Smooth Aviation Gin made with Ryan Reynolds. On discount right now for some reason at BlakeLively.com.
Don't get it.
Wow, he went there.
Nika, where do I find you?
I have no scruples.
I want to drink beer with you, Erik.
Yeah, let's do it.
I want to chat with you and drink beer with you.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, baby. That's where you can find me. You can find me. See, I'm like Andrew. I am so bad at social media. So please forgive me if anyone tries to reach me and they don't hear from me like for like months, because I often don't check my social. It's so terrible.
No, you're lying. You hate the
Other thing is
person who
this.
individually hit you up.
Every few years, someone steals my stuff. So I have to keep changing my Instagram's been what do you call it when they steal it?
Hacked,
yes.
Two-step verification. All right, that's what you gotta do.
Hacked. So I lost like everybody for years and years. So hacked. So then I had to add an underscore because they stole my actual ad.
No, that's a shame.
So I think I'm Nika underscore at all things. I think. But
I don't know, I
that's
just followed you
because I've been hacked, and you can't, and nobody will help you get your stuff back. And then it all just.
You have to hire other hackers to hack the mainframe.
I know, and then it's like, and then I get too stressed out, and I'm like, they'll find me. But mostly, you can find me at the poker table. Where everyone's a gamer here. Like I'm a poker player. I'm actually in Las
That's technically still a gamer, isn't it? If you play poker,
right now, yeah, I'm a poker.
It's a game.
Yeah, it's a game, right? So, but that's my game, my obsession of the last 20.
You need to drop an ult at that poker table.
She's an OG gamer. Typical cardboard cards. Didn't need no controllers to play them games.
Psylocke, where can we find you? Where for all your fans?
Find me in Los Angeles. Wait, and
no, not like that. I mean,
careful. Scotland.
Well, I mean, yeah. I love seeing people in in real life. Oh, and Daniel, I get to see you when? Wait, in 2 weeks, I think.
Are we allowed to say it yet?
A convention?
Oh,
I don't know if we are.
Hey, if the con's 2 weeks out, I think that's worth promoting.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess we can, yeah. I don't know.
Okay, well, I don't know. I got my badge sent, so yay. So yes, I will be there, and Daniel might be there too for something.
I'm
just gonna show up.
If I was a viewer, I'm like, I want to see what con they might be going to.
We cannot confirm nor deny that maybe it's WonderCon.
Okay, maybe it is. Maybe it's not.
I'm in Anaheim.
Yeah, I will also be present.
March 30th.
Oh, yay!
I wasn't invited to your thing. I'm probably just gonna crash it.
Let's
Wait,
go.
is your girlfriend coming? Because I really want to meet her.
Yes, she
sounds
is going.
amazing.
I don't go anywhere without her. She's my emotional support human.
Oh, okay. I have something more to look forward to. But anyways, I do remember getting a phone call from my manager when when he saw my social, because it's just pink and purple stuff and not a lot of gaming stuff.
Well, she's a social media branding manager guru, so she can teach anybody who doesn't know voiceover or doesn't know social media really well. So, shout out to Voxy Ditch.
We are in our last minute now.
Where else can we find folks? I wanted to know. Squirrel Girl, where can I find you as far as digitally goes?
Me?
Yes.
I'm on Instagram. That's it. I'm just pretty much on the gram, and I guess I'll be on X if you really need me to be, but I'd rather not. And what's that?
Are you on TikTok also?
Oh yeah, I'm on TikTok. Thank you. I forgot about that whole other giant platform. Yeah, I'm on TikTok and on Instagram at Mint Milana. And yeah, I'm really quite enjoying being on those platforms. Nika, I'm happy to give you a tutorial on how to protect yourself.
Oh, okay. It's already
cybersecurity.
Already screwed, but yes, you can do that.
Too late. The house is on fire.
No, it all went up in smoke, man.
The Terminator walking through your home as you speak. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. It's too late.
My name is Hank 1000.
Everyone, I believe that is the end of this session. Thank you all so much to our incredible talent for joining us. If you want to get a signature from them, see that down below, that URL, hit it up. You can get a personal signature. Daniel, please.
Sorry, I was going to say, before we leave, can we do like a round of ults?
Please, absolutely.
I know that was requested at some point.
The chat's demanding it. You got to give the people what they want.
Haunts you.
Oh, are we supposed to just say?
Oh, we just have to say our thing.
Yummy, yummy.
What happens if we don't know our thing?
Make it up. Improv.
This is Hela and me.
I don't know what my thing is.
I believe it's Hela
We're
Unleashed.
gonna eat nuts and kick butts.
Wait, gosh. What does anyone know what my thing is?
That's somebody calling you right now to tell you what your thing is.
That's
That's me telling you it's 1 o'clock is what it is.
Hela Unleashed.
Is my daddy or my brother gonna call me and tell me what my thing is?
Hell Unleashed. It's Hell Unleashed.
Oh,
Hell Unleashed.
Hell Unleashed. You know, Hell Unleashed. Oh yeah, it is Hell Unleashed. Hell Unleashed. Okay, Andrew, you go.
What do you mean I didn't hit it? I never miss.
Nice.
Okay, I'll go. 蝶の舞をくらえ!
Oh,
Yeah. Namor doesn't have one. He has a horn that goes.
World Stampede!
Yes.
Is that cool?
Love it.
Excellent. Awesome. Folks, again, let's give a hand in the chat and say, give all our love for these wonderful voice actors. Support them. Hopefully, we'll see them in the future. The link down below if you want to hit them up for a personal signing. That's the best way to give our support, our love to these talented individuals. I would love to join you all in the future. I would love to follow you all on your socials, which I will. Conventions as well, cameos as well. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful Saturday, folks. We'll see you all next time. Bye,
everybody.